Hello friends, you are on the channel Quotes of Great Men. Enjoy watching. Good and evil both increase at compound interest. Heaven is reality itself. All that is fully real is heavenly. For all that can be shaken will be shaken, and only the unshakable remains. I pray because I can't help myself. Miracles are for beginners. Only a real risk tests the reality of a belief. That is why Christians are told not to judge. We see only the results which a man's choices make out of his raw material. But God does not judge him on the raw material at all, but on what he has done with it. We live, in fact, in a world starved for solitude, silence, and private, and therefore starved for meditation and true friendship. Christ wants us to have a child's heart but a grown-up's head. If conversion to Christianity makes no improvement in a man's outward actions, if he continues to be just as snobbish or spiteful or envious or ambitious as he was before, then I think we must suspect that his conversion was largely imaginary. The value of the individual does not lie in him. He receives it by union with Christ. The world does not need more Christian literature. What it needs is more Christians writing good literature. Is any pleasure on earth as great as a circle of Christian friends? Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man. It is the comparison that makes you proud, the pleasure of being above the rest. Once the element of competition is gone, pride is gone. Now God, who has made us, knows what we are and that our happiness lies in Him. You understand sleep when you are awake, not while you are sleeping. You can see mistakes in arithmetic when your mind is working properly. While you are making them, you cannot see them. Good people know about both bad and evil. Bad people do not know about either. The full acting out of the self-surrender to God therefore demands pain. This action, to be perfect, must be done from the pure will to obey, in the absence, or in the teeth, of inclination. In reality, moral rules are directions for running the human machine. Every moral rule is there to prevent a breakdown, or a strain, or a friction, in the running of that machine. That is why these rules at first seem to be constantly interfering with our natural inclinations. I must keep alive in myself the desire for my true country, which I shall not find till after death. I must never let it get snowed under or turned aside. I must make it the main object of life to press on to that other country and help others to do the same. The thing is to rely on God. The time will come when you will regard all this misery as a small price to pay for having been brought to that dependence. Meanwhile, the trouble is that relying on God has to begin all over again every day as if nothing has yet been done. Every story of conversion is the story of a blessed defeat. Do not let us mistake necessary evils for good. To walk out of His will is to walk into nowhere. It is a serious thing to live in a society of possible gods and goddesses. To remember that the dullest and most uninteresting person you can talk to may one day be a creature which, if you saw it now, you would be strongly tempted to worship. God is no fonder of intellectual slackers than of any other slackers. If you are thinking of becoming a Christian, I warn you are embarking on something which is going to take the whole of you, brains and all. Yes, pride is a perpetual nagging temptation. Keep on knocking it on the head, but don't be too worried about it. As long as one knows one is proud, one is safe from the worst form of pride. When we are lost in the woods, the sight of a signpost is a great matter. I sometimes pray not for self-knowledge in general, but for just so much self-knowledge at the moment as I can bear and use at the moment, the little daily dose. God will look to every soul like its first love, because He's its first love. I would prefer to battle the unspecial feeling not by the thought, I'm no more special than anyone else, by the feeling, everyone is as special as me. Always prefer the plain direct word to the long, vague one. Our temptation is to look eagerly for the minimum that will be accepted. We are in fact very like honest but reluctant taxpayers. If something hurts you, keep quiet, otherwise they will hit exactly there. The doctrine of the second coming teaches us that we do not and cannot know when the world drama will end. The curtain may be rung down at any moment, say, before you have finished reading this paragraph. 30 was so strange for me. I've really had to come to terms with the fact that I am now a walking and talking adult. Much is expected from those to whom much is given. Most people don't need to be taught, they need only to be reminded. Delight is incomplete until it is expressed. To love you as I should, I must worship God as Creator. Thanks for watching. Check out these educational videos too.